All right, now for those that may feel like that little low, sad feeling after coming from a vacation, like a travel vacation, that's real. That's real when you feel like down. Some people say depressed, but I have more like a sad feeling. And I'm gonna try to make y'all understand what it is. Okay, it's like when I was little, me and my sister, you know what I'm saying, our father didn't stay with us when we was growing up, but he was his way, my mom's was over here, whatever. But we used to get so excited when our father would come and get us. We'll get ready like, man, Pops finna come get y'all. We be like, oh yes, we'd be so excited, packing our clothes up, we running all around the house, falling all over the floor, but we so frantic to go with our daddy. Why? Because we rarely spent time with our father when we was little, and then when we did go with our father, he let us do whatever we want to do. You know what I'm saying? I used to play records all night. Play the Jackson 5s and Commodores, or what I used to play records. He used to let me play with his record player all night, no sleep, bro. Huh? No, I was like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old playing his records, and I was up all night. So I used to anticipate with just doing that. It wasn't no, you got to go to bed, and my sister, she used to go to bed right away, but we used to just do whatever we want, you know, not being bad, but we used to eat all the candy, we used to eat our food, we used to go outside and play, come back, and we just be, so we used to be glad to be able to do that. With moms, we had chores, and we had to eat a certain time of the day, we got to get ready to go to bed, got to go to school, we got to hear all this nagging, and clean up your room and shut up and stop and quit playing. No, go in your room. You know, you can't watch that with our daddy. It was whatever. So we used to be glad to do that every time we used to go. Now, the thing about it, when we used to go with our daddy, that was like, maybe I can count on one hand how many times he came and got us. That was the sad part of it, but that's another story. So maybe like 5 times a year we went with our father, and those 5 times was just spectacular to us. So knowing that we we're about to get ready to go with our father, we used to be so happy and anxious, and oh man, we used to be. And then when we go, we have fun. Then on our way back, we'd be like sad and depressed, and we're like, oh, we got to go back, and didn't know when our daddy's gonna come and get us again. And so that's the same feeling that I have now for traveling for the very first time out of the country. I've been to Vegas, I've been to places, but the places that I've been was not so spectacular where I had to felt sad. I mean, back in 2007, I've been to Vegas with my coworkers back there for my birthday, and when I got back, I was fine. You know, I didn't feel down or nothing. I don't know. I don't even really quite remember, but I didn't feel the way I feel right now. You know what I'm saying? I guess because it was my first time out the country. Being in Jamaica was awesome. I feel like I was at home. It didn't even really feel like I was out the country. I ain't gonna even lie to you. It felt like I was around a bunch of family members. Like, I'm so serious. And then knowing the day that I'm getting ready to leave, I'm like, I felt like this dreadful feeling like, oh man. Why? Because we are places, when we go out, we are in places where we don't have big major responsibilities. As travelers and visitors, we're being well taken care of. We're being looked after. You know what I'm saying? We're being spoiled with all the great memories and food, luxury, spas, and we're being taken care of way better than at home. Now, here's the thing. It's because we are visitors. It's not because we are citizens and we live here. Huh? You got to understand this. Visitors get well taken care of more than the residents. See, when we're here visiting, it's just temporary, and that's why we're being taken care of. We're going back home. We get to go back home, not only that, but as visitors, we are spending money. So that's why we're being taken care of, and they want to make sure that we come back to spend our money. Huh? And that's what we look forward to. That's why we spend the money, and that's why we go out to different places, because as visitors we will be taken care of, knowing that we gotta go back home. So that's why we feel that way. They probably feel that way too, especially if you're spending good money. They want you to come back. They probably get mad when you leave too. But for those who want to understand what that feeling is, that's what it is. It's normal. It's that sad, dreadful, depressed feeling. Like, man, we got to go back. Got to deal with coworkers. We got to deal with work. We got to deal with supervisors. We got to deal with relatives. We got to deal with neighbors, traffic. We got to deal with work. We got to deal with co-workers. We got to deal with supervisors. We got to deal with relatives. We got to deal with neighbors. Huh? We got to deal with work, co-workers, supervisors. Man, y'all know what I'm saying. Come on now. And that's why we be in that. We got to go back to that. So the best thing to do, this is what I do. The best thing to do, people, is to plan another trip right away. Now, and that's regardless if you don't even go within, if you go like within a year or 6 months to a year. So plan another one to get your emotions back up. Planning a trip to me makes me happy. I ain't lying. I get so excited planning a trip. I get excited knowing that I may have the opportunity to go. It's my life, and I'm choosing to do these things, and no one is telling me what I can or cannot do with my life. Now, I'm not talking about in a spiritual form with God. God is always in control with my life. But I'm talking about as being around those who may try to hold us back from making these type of spectacular choices in life. If you want to go on another trip, book it. You don't have to feel down all the time. So what you got to do with the things you got to deal with around you? You got to make your money. You got to live. You know what I'm saying? But just book another trip. This is your life. You're enjoying it. You're having fun. Go for it. Can't nobody tell you what you can and cannot do. The only thing that may stop us from reaching certain destinations when it comes to traveling is because of what may be carrying on in these countries or cities, and that's travel advisory. And hey, that's just for our safety. But I'm talking about overall firms controlled by a narcissist or someone else who may try to bring your choices of life down because they're miserable. No, this is what we choose to do. We choose to live. And after these type of vacations, when you feel that down part, uplift it by booking another trip. Take your time and pick a destination where you wouldn't mind going. Take your time. Well, like I say, with me, I want to plan another trip. Maybe in 4-5 months, and I want to go within the next 6 months. So I'm doing this. I'm doing this in 12 months by choice. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, this is what I choose to do. Anyone outside of that, why you going on another trip? Why you don't just go in 2 years? Why you don't just go in the spring? Why you don't just go in the winter? Don't let no one tell you what you can and cannot do when it comes to you booking your trips. Don't let no one influence you on where to go and where not to go, especially if they are not going. No. After you come back from these trips, after having a nice time, a wonderful time in your life, don't let that trip put you in a depressed mode. What you do is keep it as a blessing, in a blessing memory, and ask God to lead and guide you and to put his touch on you being able to go to another one. Now book it. Shalom.